What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. And let me just tell you something, guys. We are excited to explain our new platform of what we're doing. We're going to change it up big time. We're going to talk all sports. What do you guys want to talk about? We got NHL playoffs. We've got NBA. We have got wrestling. We have got college baseball. Anything you guys want to talk about, hit that chat box up. It's exciting. Tonight, obviously, Two Pair's going to come on here a little bit in a little while. Of course, I've got the coach himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, in the back waiting to come on. But we are excited to talk about this new platform of the show. We will have guests come on to share their thoughts on the happening of sports. And some of them you've seen before. I can assure you that we'll have the great Michael Lynn that we've talked about on here. Corey Davison, an actor, going to be coming on here as well. We've also talked about with Terry Maples coming on here, who's also been a guest on the show. Anybody that would love to come on and talk sports, the great Larry Frank, maybe even get Kerry Reeves on here, Chris Smith, if he's available, all the ones that we have talked that have been supportive of the show, they are going to be on this show, and we're going to talk about the happenings in sports because there's always something happening in sports. Coming up soon, we're going to be talking about the grind days coming up of the summer workouts. Yesterday was a big day where everybody who was going to stay in the NBA draft is staying. Those that are coming back. So we can talk about that. Even some coaches are even saying that COVID year really kind of made it slim picking transfer portal. So you guys be the decide of that. I know March Madness is a long ways away from now, but it's interesting that college basketball coaches already complaining about that extra COVID year not being available. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how that dynamic shapes when you talk about that going forward. But we've got the NBA draft coming up, and we'll talk about that as we get closer. One half of the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals have been set. We'll talk about that tonight as well. But first and foremost, we want you to also just join this chat box live, point out when we've inaccurately said something in error, as well as voice your opinions. What do you all want to talk about? This is just much your show because remember, this is Rebels with a Cause. That cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Want to give some shout outs to our sponsors. First and foremost, Miss Kim Castle over at King's Chamber. If you have not done so yet, guys, definitely hit up her shop, King's Chamber. They're on Washington Pike. That's the phone number. Get yourself an appointment there. She's closed Monday and Tuesdays, but she is open Wednesday through Sunday. I believe 11 to 6, but definitely check her out and give her a call. She takes care of you guys. I mean, she'll do the haircuts and the beard trims. She does the pedicures and manicures and the facials like waxes. So definitely go hit her up. You can get a nice tasty beverage while you're waiting or in the chair. You get the royal treatment there at the chamber. So makes you feel like the king you are. So definitely go hit her up. Also want to give a shout out to our boy, Mr. Alex Thatcher and his Knoxville Coffee Company there in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. That brew is good any time of the day. I know it's summertime. It's a little warmer out, but let me tell you something. These early mornings, might need that coffee to get you going through a hard, long day. So definitely go hit him up over there. Also got to give some love to Razor Shop Barber Shop of Knoxville. You need something done, go see Josh Fink or Corey. They will get you taken care of. And also got to give some love to Big Fact Sports Network. Follow them at 332 Studios on YouTube. They are doing some great things on all their social media. So go give them a like, see what they're doing, and you won't regret following them. But, I'm real excited to get this thing going. Got to bring on one of my co-hosts. He has been there practically from the beginning. Got a birthday coming up very soon, and we'll definitely get him taken care of in that regard next week as that comes. But want to give him a shout out and love. He has been such a contributor to this show, and we love having him on. He's been busy as anything, as we all have going on with things going on in our life. But if you're watching this live or recorded, give him the love that he deserves. It's the one, the only, our resident coach, the stats guy, Mr. Shane O'Mac, Shane McGee. What is up, baby? How you doing?
What's up? How we doing tonight?
Oh man, we're great. I'm glad to see you guys. I know it's been a little crazy the last couple weeks, vacations, jobs being looked at, and trying to get hired. It's been crazy, man, of what's going on. But the world of sports has not stopped. I mean,
Nope.
we have seen the playoffs in full. We got the college baseball tournament, the Vols defending their title. Why
Yeah.
can't they? I mean, they ran into a buzzsaw with Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament, Shane, but Vanderbilt's the number one overall seed and looking really good. And looks like Tennessee would avoid them, at least until Omaha, if the
So
seats
what
hold up.
what I saw today was college baseball or SEC baseball runs through Tennessee right now.
It does. It really
22,
does.
22 and 24 Tennessee SEC champs. 23 and 25 Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Yep. And Vanderbilt back where they kind of had some so-so years, but I saw a stat that was crazy that their coach in 24 seasons at Vanderbilt, he has 12 SEC tournament championships or something like that. Like I mean
Yeah.
that's a 50% type of percentage there. I mean, my goodness, and everybody wonders what Vanderbilt brings to the league. That's what they bring to the league. And you've got 13 bids for this college like 13 hosts, rather I shouldn't say hosts, but 13 teams got in to the
13
field.
to 16
Yeah,
SEC teams.
that's crazy. That's
Crazy.
absolutely nuts. So yeah, and of course, you got the college baseball regional. Tennessee's hosting tomorrow night. They start off with Miami of Ohio. Of course, Wake Forest is the 2 seed. Cincinnati's the 3 seed. So yeah, it's going to be
Yeah.
a really good region. A lot of good teams in
Yeah.
that region.
I felt bad for the Lady Ball softball team today though. That
That was
walk off.
heartbreaking. Oh.
Oh.
I saw it coming, Shane. When Tennessee did not extend that lead in the top of the seventh, I thought, "Uh-oh." And
Yeah.
realistically, I'm kind of sorry that they pitched to that one girl. I would have almost walked her at that point and maybe faced the next batter because it looked like the minute she cracked the bat, it was gone. I mean,
Yeah.
it was out of the stadium. So, and
Yeah.
it's heartbreaking. I thought that Tennessee had them, and unfortunately, Oklahoma just owns Tennessee in women's softball, and it's looking like another year that Lady Vol softball is going to fall short at the hands of
Yeah.
Oklahoma, who is the standard in softball. I mean, they're going for 5 in a row right now. So,
Yeah, see,
yeah.
this is what their our Tennessee's ninth appearance in the Women's College World Series.
Yeah, and they've gotten
So,
close. They had that one really great year with Monica Abbott that they got very far and fell to Arizona back in '07 or '08, I believe. If it was, yeah, I think it was '07. But truth be told, I it's just Oklahoma. I mean, they had them, and to
yep.
lose like that, that was heartbreaking. And then you have to go to the losers bracket, and you got to be flawless from here on out until
Yeah.
the
Now they got to take down Florida
yeah.
tomorrow.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, but yeah, the Vols are still in this. Right now the Vols are still in this to defend their title. The one thing that I'm excited about is the fact that you do have these 13 SEC teams that are representing it, and we've talked about it. I think the theme that we've talked about, Shane, and anybody that watches the show and has participated. Obviously, we live in SEC country. We do,
Yeah.
but the thing is that since adding Oklahoma and Texas, the SEC in all sports has become even more dominant. I mean, look at
Yeah.
how many teams you had in the NCAA tournament for basketball. Look at how many teams got bowl bids in the college football. Look at the softball that was being done right now. Women's basketball tournament had a bunch of representatives.
Yeah.
It's a true bloodbath, and realistically, it's amazing that the Gators ended up winning the whole thing, but I think that, the theme that you're seeing is that one way or the other, there's going to be, if Oklahoma wins this softball, they will be as an SEC representative. If
Yeah.
Vanderbilt or any of these 13 teams for the baseball, that's an SEC representative. I mean, and it just
SEC,
shows
the
that this is
SEC has won it every year since 2019, exception of the COVID year. It's been an SEC team to win it.
Yeah, Mississippi State has been a champion in the past,
Ole
so
Miss.
absolutely. Ole Miss, yep, yep. So I mean,
Did Texas A&M take 19?
I don't know if they took 19 or not. That would be
I'm
a
gonna look
great
that
one
up
to
real
look
quick.
up. But and obviously, they're always in the conversation, and it's crazy with all the talk that's going on in college sports now.
Oh, my
I
bad. It was Vanderbilt that won 2019.
Yeah, so Vandy, I mean, there's Vandy right there, but it did still you may have even had a very special team SEC team win it if it hadn't been for COVID in 2020, to be honest with
Okay,
you.
here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, read it.
2019 Vandy. COVID was canceled. I think yeah, COVID year would have been us
Yep,
because we start out super hot.
that was a really
COVID
good
got
team.
canceled.
So, yep,
Mississippi State in 21, Ole
yep,
Miss in 22, LSU in 23, and then Tennessee last year.
crazy. Just nuts. Wow.
Florida took 2017. So I mean, you're looking at one.
Out of the last 8 years or seven
Yeah,
years rather. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
five
Well, eight
five
eight years. 8 years with 1 year eliminated. Has been
with one
SEC
year
team.
limit. That's just nuts. That's absolutely crazy, and that's awesome to see. And realistically, I don't know what was kind of being said in the during the week, but the SEC, whether it was clickbait or not, kind of threatening to leave college sports in general if something can't really be worked out. And let's be real, the SEC drives the media. This is why ESPN paid so much money, to get that exclusive rights to for those games and during college football season and in college basketball as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's just nuts. It's just nuts to see.
I
But
think I think when it comes to the whole like SEC leaving the NCAA, I think something's going to happen where we it turns into the Power Four conferences all break off
Mhm.
and form their own thing because the NCAA is trying to overstep state laws and all that.
Yeah, yeah. And there's got to be some type of control at this point, but that's their fault. They have unfortunately been a victim or actually they're not a victim. They're actually the reason why this is all happening because they've policed too hard at times, been too lenient, and there's no consistency. And this is what you get for
Yeah,
not putting these rules in place beforehand. And you have no
yeah,
credibility. You have none. I mean,
yeah.
none
And
whatsoever.
every time Tennessee's gone to bat against the NCAA, we've won,
Mhm.
and they have more and more reason to leave when it
Mhm.
comes when it's all said and done.
Yep.
So the SEC knows it's the moneymaker, the Big Ten moneymaker. So
Mhm.
we'll see what happens.
You know what the crazy thing is too? You don't have they've said without being too political, media drives a lot of things. But you know what I think is really interesting is that you have a lot of the media heads, especially from ESPN, and I've even heard from other outlets that they have outright said that, and it's pretty sad. This is how little they think of these upper executives or the people that are put in place for the NCAA in these high profile roles, Shane,
Yeah,
is that if you think about this, they're wanting Nick Saban to basically be like the head of the college football and Mike Krzyzewski the head of college basketball. I mean, these were coaches, great
yeah,
coaches, legends, but they want them as opposed to these guys that have some type of a background because those two men command respect. That's the
yeah,
thing. Love them or hate them, they commanded respect, and
yeah,
that really just is very intriguing to me that those are the two names. And those guys aren't spring chickens. They are both well into their
yeah,
70s. Do they even want that right now, and everything? That's the
yeah.
truth of it. So,
I mean, we all dislike Saban because he he ran Alabama to where they are now,
mhm,
but the dude is a football genius.
mhm.
So and then Coach
He's
K,
kind of a savant.
all
He's
the
kind of a savant. He saw these things coming ahead of time. He's a chess player, like
yeah.
talking about Saban, and as you were saying about Coach K, go ahead. So yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, and Coach K just that's the basketball god in my opinion. Even though I
mhm.
was never a Duke fan, I respect Coach K because he got the best out of even NBA players when he took over the Olympic team.
I mean, he saved the Olympic teams.
Yep.
I mean, he got those guys to buy in, and I mean, they're uh, something needed to be done. And USA basketball is in a lot better shape because of Jerry Colangelo and Mike
Mhm.
Krzyzewski getting on the same page there. So, I mean, but
Yeah,
I'll,
when you get
yeah.
star NBA players to put their egos aside, so yes,
Hmm.
use your ego against these teams, but you have to play as a team. It's not an individual sport, and you got professionals listening to a college coach that maybe a few played for, and that's it.
That's it. And they respected him so much. He doesn't even get a gold medal. They put their gold medals around his neck on the podium. I mean,
Yep.
that's got to mean that you love the guy. You wouldn't just do
Yeah.
that for anybody. So, I mean, yeah, but there's so much going on in college sports, and Shane, we love college sports. We do, not just because we were raised here in a college town, and everything like
Yeah.
that. But let's be real, it's not the same as how it was so many years ago. And if the chat box is on, definitely chime in your opinion. We still watch it because we enjoy it. This is all we've ever known. But man, is it different from when we like 20 years ago or
Yeah.
anything like that, when before media really started getting involved in this and the TV deals and all this stuff. But it's crazy. It's crazy how much money is
Yeah.
going on right now. So yeah. Yeah, but well deserved for the SEC. And like I said, I think Tennessee has a great shot to definitely win this region. And I believe they're the 14 seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they are
So
the
they would
14th
be
seed.
matched up with the 3 seed. If chalk holds, they would take on the 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. So
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that. I'm gonna pull that bracket up real quick.
yeah, I'm just very curious. So yeah. Yeah, it's but and while Shane's doing that, like I said, tomorrow night is going to be crazy down there by the university. If we've talked about it, obviously the Vols are hosting tomorrow night, and also in town tomorrow night is going to be WWE SmackDown. So of course I'm going to be going. Kerry Reeves said he's going to be going. I'm excited to go just because John Cena is going to be there, and this is going to be the last time that I'm going to see John Cena in person, and I've seen him
Yes,
several times.
I really wanted to go to it, but unfortunately, my boy's got pitching duties.
Duty
He
calls,
had
man. Duty calls. So, yeah.
yeah, he I'm sure he would love it, but no, team comes first in my opinion when it comes to sports, and he's
Absolutely.
dedicated this season to finish up the baseball season, and he had a great outing on his first night on the mound. So
Yeah.
I'll find a way to let him watch it afterwards or something. But
Absolutely. Just record it and so forth, And
yeah,
actually that reminds me I need to record it tomorrow night too. But but there's a lot going on obviously in town tomorrow night. And realistically I'm just very excited because not many times does that really happen in and I believe it's Arkansas. They would be matched up with Arkansas. I mean,
yep,
the sad thing is the top 4 seeds are all SEC. Vanderbilt's number 1, Texas is number 2, Arkansas is number 3, and Auburn is number 4. So I mean,
yep.
there's your top 4 seeds, and you got all these other teams hosting, like Ole Miss. LSU's hosting, Georgia was
Georgia's
hosting, Tennessee
hosting.
was hosting. Yeah, I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah,
That
see,
is really, really insane. So, yeah. I mean,
Vanderbilt, Texas, Ole Miss, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, all host.
yeah,
Auburn
look
and
at that.
Arkansas.
Look at that. I mean, that's incredible. That is incredible. In
Yeah, and
addition to having, all the teams in there.
yeah,
So,
and then looking at the Coastal Carolinas bracket, Florida's going to take that one. I think. Uh,
I
I
could see
think Kentucky.
Alabama taking Southern Miss. I could see Alabama taking
I can,
Southern Miss as a 16 seed.
I can see Kentucky taking Clemson.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's just the nuts. That's just crazy right there, in my
Yeah,
opinion. And you could
uh, uh,
definitely have almost like a mini SEC tournament in the super regionals next weekend at
yeah,
this point, honestly. So
yeah.
yeah.
Oklahoma has a good chance coming out of Chapel Hill. I think there's only one bracket Uh, take that back. One, two. It's only two brackets. It looks like that don't have an SEC team in them.
Look at that. Look at that right there. Honestly, I mean that's just nuts. But I could see Alabama upsetting Southern Miss, the 16 seed, and then playing Vanderbilt next weekend. I could
Yeah,
totally see that. Could totally see that next weekend
yeah.
in
Because I don't
Nashville.
see Southern. I don't see Southern Miss pulling it out. I mean, your Canes got to
No.
go up against. Your Canes got Alabama. So
Yeah, they'll be done. They'll be done by Saturday, so nothing to see there. So they were lucky to get in. Honestly, JD Artiega is such a bad coach for Miami, and realistically, he saved his job another year just by getting that. They'll settle for that. They will settle for that. But if you are a true Miami Hurricanes baseball fan, it was judged by getting to the College World Series, not by just making the tournament. Man, I mean,
yeah,
it's just the standards just have gone so down there. They don't care about baseball over there. But then you look at Tennessee. I mean, with what Tennessee lost last year to get back into this position, that's
yep,
impressive. And this bloodbath of a league, it's really is
yeah. I
something.
think I think I think Tennessee's only Achilles heel is the depth in our bullpen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not a Dean Curley fan. He's caused too many errors this year. I know Tony V's riding with him, but man, he has been a liability
He really
everywhere
has.
they've put him. He's cost us so many runs with his errors this year.
Well, and you can't tell me that there's not anybody any better on that bench. I mean, at this point, it's like, can a freshman be any worse or anybody else at this point?
I
Like
think
honestly.
had oh, what's his name, Roberto, that didn't get the
Hmm.
clearance. Had he been available, it would change the way the infield looked,
Yeah.
and Curley may have been a DH if anything.
You know what? You're right. I forgot about that. That was a very big ruling there against because if they had had him, that would have changed the whole dynamic of the team. You're right about that. So it's
Yeah,
amazing what one player can do, and I forgot about that. So when that was done at the beginning of the season.
yeah.
Um, one thing I did want to bring up, yes, WWE SmackDown is there tomorrow night in Knoxville. I was hoping Larry would be on by now. Maybe he is because I'd love to see him chime in. But realistically, one thing I wanted to cover tonight, and I hope when Two Pair gets on, he'll talk about it as well. We could always go back to it. How bad is WWE programming right now? Shane, they just had the second lowest rating on Netflix, and this thing has only been on for barely 6 months. I
I know.
mean, barely.
We'll be 6 months next week.
Yeah, yeah. And so
It's
my thing
crazy.
is, this: did they limit themselves? Yes, we talked about maybe all the possibilities you could be a little bit more risque on Netflix, not being on cable TV, but you've also kind of like cut your potential audience. Not
Yeah.
everybody is a Netflix subscriber. I even see that people sometimes even share subscriptions, amongst family members and things of that nature. So, I don't know if that was really a smart decision by TK Sports and Triple H at this point. I know SmackDown still airs Friday nights on cable TV, but they're not even on Fox anymore. They're now on USA and
Yep.
everything. So it's like, you know, I wonder, I wonder how long is this contract with Netflix for? And, is there any way that it could be what can they do, I guess, to get the ratings up? I mean, what would cause you as a wrestling fan, if you're not already a Netflix subscriber, to subscribe to Netflix just to watch the premiere
It's a
show on Monday
it's a
nights?
10-year deal with Netflix for 5 billion.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. So it's 10 years. They're barely a half a year into it, and the ratings are absolute trash right now.
Yep.
I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it is absolutely awful. And from what I've even discussed, is that some people are just not happy. It's almost unwatchable at this
Yep.
point, and
It started out to where I was tuning in, and now I just scroll through TikTok or Twitter and catch updates.
or watch a YouTube like clip, like if there was something, some run in or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. pretty much. Yeah. It's how sad is that? And I guess that goes back to what we kind of talked about with after WrestleMania. You know, you had all these cuts. You had these it's apparent your men's division is sorely lacking with star power, and you're really have ridden the guys that you've ridden for so many years. They're on their last legs, and you've not made any new superstars. You
Nope.
really haven't. So
No,
yeah,
when this group that when they were coming in when we were still high school and early 20s, like they're on their way out, and
yeah.
it's who's next? Like there's nobody like okay, like I want to tune in and see this guy. Like there's and then my son he'll watch it with me, and he cares more about the ones that are on their way out the door than he does who's in there now. So
Yeah, yeah, and sadly, I know that Saturday Night Main Event aired, which used to be a big deal and everything. But I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch 1 minute of the Saturday Night Main Event. I was too busy watching my Panthers take on the Carolina Hurricanes on a Game 3 Saturday night. That's what I was
yeah,
watching. And it was a big win for the Panthers. Obviously, I'm representing the Eastern Conference champions, and I was just going to I was going to get to that. I mean, they're heading to their Stanley Cup for the third straight year, and that's impressive. You to go back to it. They lost that one against a very stacked Vegas team. One against Edmonton. It's looking like it's going to be Florida versus Edmonton part two because last I checked, Edmonton was up 3-1 after the first
they
intermission. Yeah,
they are
so
up 4-2 in the second.
in the second, yeah, and I'm surprised Dallas didn't give more of a fight. I really am not. They were obviously the higher seed, but
Yeah,
Edmonton, man, they're going to be tough, and obviously I'd like my Panthers to repeat, but honestly, I'm just happy to be in the conversation and to see how this goes. But I mean, Canada's due. I mean, it is due to happen, and they've got a whole country behind them, honestly, So,
yeah,
but yeah, it's going to be interesting when that comes to be there. But yeah, but we'll talk about that in a second. But going back to the WWE programming right now, more than any, um, I just don't know what really needs to be done. Here's the other thing that I found out, and I don't know if you heard this. Um, Supposedly, Triple H and WWE. I don't know who with this one. They are not going to New Orleans for WrestleMania next year. They are
going
doing
back to
a
Vegas.
second straight year in Vegas. And I the thing is two of your best WrestleManias have taken place in in New Orleans. Honestly,
Yeah,
it really has.
I think
So
it's
yes.
shady how you tell New Orleans like, hey, you want it, we're coming there. It's like, oh, somebody outbid you. We've already got people. No, they're booking freaking hotel rooms and other smaller promotions. We're trying to do things down there to get their
Hmm.
guys looked at. Like, you change up the whole thing. So now, like, cities aren't going to want to put that bid in the host, knowing that somebody else can come in after you already announced. Like, they did the big thing with like The Rock coming out, playing music by Lil Wayne. Like, hey, we're coming to New Orleans,
Hmm.
and then a couple weeks later, oh, hey, never mind, we're changing this.
Yep. No, it's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And
New Orleans is getting what, Money in
realistically,
the Bank?
yeah, yeah, they're going to give him a money in the bank. And I was even like saying that. I was even saying like, why would you not give that to maybe I don't know what. How about this one, Shane? Why wouldn't you give them a Royal Rumble or one of the other big four pay-per-views like a
Yep,
SummerSlam? You gave them Money in the Bank, which is probably a better of the B shows, but you're going from filet mignon to like I don't know a sirloin, pretty much
yep,
when you go from WrestleMania to Money in the Bank. So
yes. And then I
yeah,
even look at it like regionally, like it's a lot easier for us to jump off a plane to go down to New Orleans than it would be for us to go out to Vegas. And the
absolutely,
cost effectiveness,
absolutely.
everything's going to go up in price, but it needs to be where like different regions every couple of years have a chance to go down there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Larry, I just sent you a link to your email. You wanted to come on if possible. I'd love to have you on to discuss it because it was near and dear to his heart. He's down there in Louisiana. He was going to go to this and
Yeah,
he's got a lot of opinions to talk about with what's going on with wrestling right now, honestly, and so forth. But I just sent you the link, Larry. Come on and join us. I see two pair backstage getting ready to come on. We'll get him on here. If he gives me the thumbs up, I'll bring him on properly. But yeah, it's just a really Larry said to give him a few and he would join us. So, but really sad to see how what it is right now, the wrestling product. And we talked about this, and I think that with our knowledge of sports, we're pretty spot on and in tune of what's kind of going on. We've been around so much in the history, and we're very well versed in it. We knew that this was going to be a problem, but I mean, who that deal though, Shane? 10. I mean, billions of dollars for 10 years. Are you kidding me right now?
yeah,
I mean, and you're pulling in the second lowest rating in Netflix. You're
yeah. I mean,
backtracking and putting shows in Vegas. I mean, so
it's just it makes no sense.
it really doesn't. It really doesn't. And you want to know something? I don't know. Like again, I'm going tomorrow night to see Cena one last time. Some people like his heel run. Some people do not. I really think that if they were going to do this right, they needed to secure the capital. You clearly had the money, but
Yeah,
like where does the Rock fit into this storyline? Where does all this it makes no sense, and like you said, we had a rapper come in and interfere in that match. I mean, not even any of the star power. Like, you should have planned this out a lot better than how it really has come to be. And I almost feel like they had a maybe a thought of what they wanted everything to be. And then it was like John Cena jumped in and was like, well, hey, I want to do one last run. If you really want to get it out of me, I feel I'm good enough to do it like this at this age, and we can't wait any
yeah,
longer if I'm going to do it right. Respect that. But it's like you are wrapping around fitting him as opposed to fitting him into your plans. And
yeah.
it's not working. It just seems
The
disorganized,
the
if I
the,
can
the
say that.
storyline isn't matching up with what was led into.
It's not. It's not. I mean, we were all excited at that elimination chamber,
Yep.
and even look at how they've handled main event Jay's run. He looked very weak from what I saw in the
Yep.
clips from the Saturday night main event. Like, he looked weak, and Cody Rhodes had to come out and save him. I mean, it's like that's not you're not really building up your champion there. You're making him a very weak champion after he defeated an unbeatable ring general, according
Yeah.
to this. I mean, or how you've
It's like
written that story.
Cody was weak, and we all got tired of his story being pushed. And then
Yep.
you're making Jay look worse than what he led up to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're having the ring general, who was absolutely dominant in his run, taking on Pat McAfee for
Yeah.
no reason. I mean, it's just to get maybe viewers because of Pat McAfee and his success on what he's done on his show and ESPN. I mean, we're
Yeah.
bringing in celebrities as wrestlers. I mean, this is no different than what WCW was doing and really ended Nitro
Yeah.
back in the day, and so
Yeah.
forth.
And then I wonder how much is Paul putting up with Prime as advertising and money to force his little thing going on with Jay.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, I have no idea, and then where does Logan Paul fit in on this? Like, where does he fit, So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I
I
think
think that's a hey, I'll give y'all more money out of what I got just to push my own storyline.
absolutely. Well, I know he's got a lot to talk about with this WWE because he's been a big fan, and obviously he had a lot going on tonight. But we got to bring him on. Let me just say this about this guy: hardest working guy that I know. You give him a mic, he entertains you like crazy. He is the voice of the West High basketball running Rebels and Lady Rebels. He also has done the Powell Panthers and Lady Panthers. And he is just the dude. Two pair Tate, Brian Tate, you watching this live or recorded, show him the love and respect he deserves. Here he is, everybody.
Going on, man? Y'all doing well? I was trying to get it to where I normally have it on landscape, but I guess it's not working with
Oh,
me.
is it only giving you the portrait option or what have
Yeah,
you?
portrait.
That's interesting because backstage it's giving me the landscape, which is weird, honestly. Huh.
No, I thought it would.
Wonder if you can go in your settings and change it like that.
It's
So,
all good. It's all
yeah.
good. We'll work with this.
Yeah,
Work with.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, and guess what? We got another guest who wanted to come on. He's passionate too. I want to bring him on. You remember him from the WrestleMania talk, and like I
Yeah.
said, I'm opening up this platform to guests to come on to speak about all things going on in sports. Give him a round of applause. He's one of our biggest fans, and definitely going to be a staple part of our show going forward as a contributor down there in Louisiana, the great Larry Frank. Welcome him on, everybody. How you doing, Larry, tonight?
Oh man, thanks for having me, man. I
Man,
appreciate y'all letting me come on the platform again.
thank you for showing up, man. Thank you for showing up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah,
But
we're changing this platform up, and I'm sorry I hadn't had a chance to kind of chat with you about it and so forth. But we will definitely catch up. I know you've been busy with stuff, but with your own show and everything, and I want you to plug your show here shortly in a minute. But truth be told, we're going to be covering all sports now. We've already talked about college baseball, and now we're covering right now SmackDown. Obviously, going to be tomorrow night in Knoxville. I'm excited about going, but right now, man, this WWE programming is just pathetic. And the second lowest rating on Netflix, Shane's talking about that this is a 10-year, multi-billion-dollar deal. And we ain't even 6 months into this bad boy, man. I mean, what is going on, Larry? What do you think?
Dude, I'ma just be honest with you. I don't know what the thought process is with creative right now. I don't know what Triple H, for somebody that's been in the business for 30 plus years, and you haven't just been in the business for 30 plus years. You're Vince McMahon's son-in-law. I mean, you know every nook and cranny secret that there is to this thing. You were part of the Monday Night Wars when WWE was losing to WCW. So I don't know, man. I thought we were done with the part-timer stuff, you know. I know John Cena is going out his way, but I just think his heel turn is sour. Um, for God's sakes, I mean a tag match with him and Jay versus Logan and shoot Cody Rhodes coming back with Jay, rather Cody Rhodes and Jay versus Logan and him.
Yep.
Um it's just, I don't know. And the thing about it with the New Orleans thing with WrestleMania, that was a shock because when that headline dropped locally, it literally just took the wind out of the sails of everybody down here. Like, they were starting to get a lot of steam and a lot of press going. We've got a Comic Con down here. Gangrel's going to be down here. Mickey James is going to be down here. I think that's July 11th. So I'm intending on going over there. It's going to be at the convention center across from the Superdome. But um, I just don't know where the landscape is right now. And honestly, I've been watching WWE, but I've been fast forwarding. I usually like to watch it from start to finish. Now, dude, I've just bits and pieces and pick and choose. I can't even watch it in its entirety no more right now.
Absolutely. Two pair, I want you to chime in on this, brother, because I know you're busy right now building your brand and everything going on, traveling, but you used to be very loyal to the NXT, to the Raw. I mean, what is going on in your opinion as a lifelong WWE fan, brother?
you
Honestly.
know, uh, being, being guys watching before it comes back together. Um, you know what I'm saying? It's a very different time right now, and I would say NXT was the best platform at one time. It was, and then it just feels like the main roster in SmackDown. SmackDown is was actually took over Raw at one point, and so is there bad like feedback?
There's a little bit of a feedback. There's a little bit of a feedback problem.
A little bit.
So
Might, might go on mute. I don't might go on.
hold on one second.
Okay, y'all hear me pretty well. Good, good. Okay, so no, what I was saying is the difference now is kind of like you know what's happening like before it happens. Now it's not a it's not it's not any suspense to it. You know what I'm saying? There when we were growing up, and of course when we got in our like early 30s, there was suspense. There was way they teetered the line but didn't actually go over the line. They just teetered the line so much that you know what I'm saying, they show like the breaking point. And we don't get a lot of breaking points, and we don't get good theater because really this is, you know what I'm saying, this is entertainment. It's you know what I'm saying, some of the best sports entertainment. And we're just not getting the theater side of the sports entertainment.
Yeah, I totally agree. No, I totally agree with it. And again, we've mentioned this, all four of us. You don't have any star power going through the ranks, like Shane said, to tune in. You don't even care anymore. And they've ridden these guys as long as you can ride. I mean, the Ortons, Roman Reigns is looking for bigger and better things. I mean, you just did not handle the torch passing correctly as Vince has done in the past. Obviously Stone Cold and The Rock passed it on. Hogan tried to pass it on, and it just seems so disorganized right now. And like Larry was saying, what really bothers me the most about it is the fact that why do you not have more guys in line right now helping out? Maybe Vince alienated a lot of guys, and maybe Vince, those were guys that were loyal to Vince. But you've been in this business, Paul Levesque, for 30 years, and you've got to know somebody more than just Shawn Michaels. I mean, where's Road Dogg? Where's Badass Billy Gunn is over there on AEW? You can make fun of it all you want, but he's doing something over there prominent behind the scenes. Guys that were with WWE that know what it is to be good. Maybe they don't have the organization or the production value that WWE has at AEW, but realistically, you should have brought those guys back. You really should have. And I think that you've just pissed off the wrong people, and that's why they're not there with WWE anymore. I could be wrong, but what do you guys think? So.
Oh,
I think that's spot on.
Just really disappointing. So,
I'll put it to you like this. Road Dogg, I think his real name is Brian James. He's actually a writer. I think he writes for NXT. I'm not sure,
mhm.
but he's definitely a backstage writer. He's part of creative. Um, I just honestly think that Triple H and credit him because financially WWE is doing so well with the out of country shows. The merchandise is selling. You see the crowd interaction. As I said before, Jay Uso's entrance is equivalent to a concert. Like
Yeah.
I get hype. I mean, I'm eating all over my living room floor. Every time every time. Um, but I think the electricity, no pun intended, to the Rock is starting to kind of fizzle a little bit because when you get away from the optics of it and you start looking at the storytelling and you start looking at the positioning of some of this talent, it's flat. I don't like how they're doing Jey Uso's title reign right now.
Horrible.
I
Horrible.
hate it because you essentially got him in 3 feuds. He's coming off of the Logan Paul thing. He's got Gunther waiting in the wings. And for whatever reason, you just inserted John Cena into it, I guess to set up this tag match. But you still have Seth Rollins, who is saying he should be involved with it. And I just think that for 15 years that he's had to be recognized alongside of his brother as only a tag talent. I think it's kind of like if you remember Shawn Michaels when he broke away from the Rockers. It took him a while because he had to get over the mid card scene as an IC champ, but when he elevated to the main event scene, he took off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Jay, and nobody will ever be another Shawn Michaels. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But I think you could have paralleled his singles career coming off of the tag team career similarly. Because you could have really had him, upon getting this championship, you could have had him really hitting the ground running as a fighting champion, a defending champion. Now, he has defended the belt a couple of times. But look at how he won the championship. The tap out at WrestleMania was mid, if you go back and look at it.
Yeah.
And they've made him look weak as a champion.
Horribly weak. Horribly weak.
It's almost like Cody 2.0. And I hate that because I actually like Jay. I like the main event Jay. Main event Jay was born to me when he told Sammy, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief says.
Yep.
That's when main event Jay was born.
Yes.
Right there.
I agree with you there. Yes. That is when it became clear.
Yep. And you didn't see him crying in his promos, crying all the time, Cody. I mean, all the time.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. He's not bringing up Rikishi. He's not bringing up his family in his promos. And I like the way that they're doing with him trying to stand on his own. I just don't like how they're presenting the competition. And I'm just afraid that I really hope he doesn't drop the title to Gunther on Raw. I really hope he doesn't.
It'd be a waste. It'd be a waste.
It would. It would.
It's almost like somebody who is jealous of the way the fans perceive him, and they're trying to make him look weak, even though the fans are in love with him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing: the fans thought they were in love with Cody. They learned right away, no, he wasn't the guy to break the streak of Roman Reigns. This guy I think Jay should have been the one. Honestly, Jay should have been the one.
He should have. Because where they dropped the ball with Cody was you listen to the WWE Universe and you robbed us of the head of the table showdown with Rock and Roman. That would have been a moneymaker. It didn't have to be for the title. Roman could have kept the title. It could have been for the Ula Fala. And Rock has a full-time schedule doing other things. So Roman would have won.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then, remember, just 3-4 months later, he would have beaten Hulk Hogan's modern-day record as a champion. Have him drop the title at SummerSlam after he surpasses Hulk Hogan's record.
Yeah. And I'll even give you one better, Larry. How about this? Let Jay be the one to do it. By the way,
let Jay be the one to do it.
Because here's your storyline set up. All right, I've beaten everybody in my family and everything like that, and then have Jay turn on him. Paul Heyman do that. Set it up for 4 months, and then let main event Jay take it at SummerSlam.
And how ironic would that have been? Because remember, Roman's reign, no pun intended, started with beating Jay during the pandemic era.
Yep. And reining him in when Jimmy was out with the DUI and everything.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Yep. No, you're right. So, switching gears real quick, guys, because I don't know what's going on in that game, but I did want to also talk about something. I wanted to talk a little NBA. Last night, OKC absolutely just ran the Timberwolves off the court. And this was coming off of the game 4 that the Timberwolves really let it slip. And I'd like your all's opinions on this because it looks like OKC is going to probably win this whole thing. But more than anything last night, I have never seen a more pathetic performance than from Julius Randle. He was absolutely a no-show for a superstar or what they think of. And then Ant-Man last night, I know that all through the shows today, criticized that, hey, I'm hurting for Mike Conley here, but, I'm not broken up about this. I mean, I still got time. Can I just say this, and I don't wish this on anybody, guys. You are one misstep from a blown knee, or you need to win it now.
And
What
on him.
is this?
Don't throw that. Don't throw it at him.
No. I'm not saying that, but it's like,
Yeah,
but why,
hypothetically.
hypothetically, but why would you should want to win
Hey,
it
hey,
now.
man, we don't be no hard, man. We don't be no hard.
No, we love him, but like I said,
He ain't gonna put us in no damn commercial. Fuck that.
no. But like I said, I want that fire in that belly, man. Like they were talking about when Magic or Larry lost or Jordan,
But
man, they were
but
broken up.
this is a different time and era.
I
Like
guess.
it ain't we can't want guys to be like what we grew up with, because it's like those times have changed. Like they ain't watching the game, Lord.
Yeah, I guess not. Shoot.
Let me say this. Not to knock you off too fair, but it's on my mind. I got to put it. You got it. Let's look at the methodology behind Ant-Man right now.
Yeah.
Ant-Man in the first round knocked off LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Beat the heroes.
Beat the heroes. In the second round, he knocks off Steph and Draymond.
Beat the heroes.
So you in first two rounds knock off two guys that are in the discussion as being amongst the greatest to ever play the game.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And let's not forget, Ant-Man beat child support 18 years ahead of time when he paid off the woman, and got out of it. So Ant-Man has really been on cloud nine all season.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
this is a different type of athlete right now. They don't love the game like the guys of yesteryear that we know, like the Kobe's and the Michaels and the LeBrons and the Iversons. They don't have a passion for the game like those guys did. And his championship right now is probably the fact that he knocked off LeBron and then knocked off Steph.
Mm-hmm.
And with OKC rising up to becoming, look, OKC, you kind of saw that they were evolving into what they are now last season.
Yeah.
They just fell short. He doesn't care. And it's sad to say, but this is the generation. This is the new generation athlete that we have this day. It's
what I said.
It's a little weird to me that the ESPN is trying to force Ant to be the face of the NBA when he doesn't want it.
Yes, right.
It needs to be SGA.
Yeah.
I won't disagree with that, but I will say, the conference finals. The only thing that I don't like is when a conference finals is 5 games.
Yeah.
Like, that showed me. Are you meaning telling me OKC's that much better than Minnesota? They're that much better than Minnesota?
I thought Minnesota had game 4. I really did. That was just shitty in that overtime like that. That just, if they win that one, you're going at least 6, you lost last night. Actually, you know what? I'll go one better. I think if everybody held home court, you go 7, or something. And I'm with you, Pair. We're tired of the sweeps or the game 5s and everything. And right now it looks like the Knicks are going to hold on.
The Knicks will force game 6. They're up
game 6
they're up
16
right now.
Back to Indiana. But I'm going to tell you this, guys, that could have easily been a sweep. That game 3, I didn't think that the Knicks even had a prayer in that game. Indiana blew that lead, and I don't know what kind of happened there. They kind of changed their pace, no pun intended, and kind of let the Knicks kind of come back into it. But the Knicks are very lucky right now that this series is still even going on at this point.
I think the Knicks are going to win this series.
You really think that? Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you why. It has nothing to do with what's happening on the court. Mm-hmm. James, I'm a conspiracy theorist. You've been knowing me long enough.
Sure, yeah.
I just don't see the NBA being cool with two small market teams in the NBA finals.
I like that. I like
Exactly.
that.
You got to have a big major market team in the finals. So if
Mhm.
Gotta sell tickets.
Boston, dropped the ball, no pun intended.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
Lakers dropped the ball,
they did.
no pun intended.
You're about to get the biggest market if they pull this off
Yep.
And
in the finals.
it's been 31 years since the Knicks have been to the finals.
Actually, 26 because the Spurs. Remember, they got beat by the Spurs. Ewing was out in '99.
I forgot about that. I
Yeah, but
stand
you're right.
corrected.
But
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
'94, you're right.
Yeah,
But
'cause
I'm
before that,
thinking 94.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you get 94, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, that would have been right. The 99 group was the LJ 4-point play in the corner at the Garden.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
forgot
then
about that. I forgot about that. Still,
Spurs hit that
last decade,
miracle
last
three
millennium.
on Memorial Day with Sean Elliott.
Yep.
Right.
Hey, can I say this? We deserved to get David Robinson versus Patrick Ewing. Instead, we got David Robinson versus the Dud. Chris Dudley was in there instead of Patrick Ewing,
And
man.
Kurt
That's
Thomas.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't forget Kurt Thomas.
Can't forget Kurt Thomas. So yeah, but honestly though,
you
like
have Marcus Camby down there.
you can be,
Yeah,
yeah,
he can't
you
do
did
that.
have
He did
Camby.
that.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Hey, want to give a shout out to Steven Johnson. I still love all the main sports we grew up watching, but not like I used to. Just not the same anymore. Maybe I'm just getting old. LOL. No, I don't think you're getting old, man. I just think like what we just said. It's a different mentality than
Different,
what it was.
like
Different era.
it's different. Like
It
think
is.
Everybody
about
likes each other now.
it. So
There's no. I'm ready to take your head off now.
think about this. Like the era Stevens in is that what I'm saying, that late 90s. You know what I mean? That era, yeah. Like I agree with Stevens because I come from that. Like we graduated. You know what I'm saying, in the early 2000s, but we were right like Larry
We were
Frank.
conscious during
Larry
the
Frank,
'90s.
my sister and my uncle are the same age, like class 94, 95. Like those were like our big brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
we were, if they were going to the basketball court, we were following them type thing.
Right.
So we got to see it at a level of guys wanting it. Like I can't say that about this level because we're not in the locker rooms to say that, but it's just everything is broken down to where the team is so separated that they don't come together or show any type of continuity. When you see OKC, there's a harmony with them.
Yes.
If you notice, like there's a harmony with them. It's like you never see the star player getting interviewed with the whole team.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Like they started something new, and if these dudes win and then they keep winning, you see what I'm saying? Like and give it up for Sam Presti,
Sam
but
Presti.
this is where this is where it gets tricky with all of this that you've accumulated in draft capital. You've lost Kevin Durant, MVP, future Hall of Famer. Russell Westbrook, MVP, future Hall of Famer. James Harden, future Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying, MVP of the league. You know they even had a Chris Paul for a discount here.
Mm-hmm. Didn't they
Yeah.
have Kendrick Perkins, if I'm not mistaken?
They had Kendrick Perkins.
They
Yeah,
Yes,
did.
Yeah.
they had him
They did.
too. So
yes,
there you go. Yeah.
yes. All of the dirty work that he provided for that team to get to the finals. Yeah, you missed that. But you look at what they've done. Sam Presti's got to do one thing as an executive. When is it going to be time where you close the deal and you got a chance? But the way it plays out, does Indiana make a run right here? I don't think so. It would be very tough for them to be down 16 with
No, they're
222,
down 18 with 134.
18 now.
128. 128. Excuse me.
Yeah. Now, it's-
Larry, I'm going to agree with you on something. Shane, too, if you agree with this as well, you're not far off, Larry, because here's the deal. The Pacers better close on, I guess what, it would be Saturday night because tonight's Thursday night. So they'd play Saturday night in Indiana, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah. For
So they
sure.
better close that. because they ain't getting out of New York to go to the finals. If that goes to 7 back in Madison Square Garden, I agree with you, Larry. I think that they want the Knicks against OKC for that number 1 market. I mean, because you're going to have 2 small markets in Indianapolis and Oklahoma City at this point.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
and think about this. I mean, look at the ratings. The
Mhm.
ratings are not going to be good because let's just be honest. Nobody's really checking for Indiana right now. And I think OKC, you're going to get a little bit of buzz because they're actually a fun team to watch.
Yep.
But the storylines obviously would be the Knicks and how they've came back from futility since last millennium. And you can't help but to root for the Knicks. I mean, look, I'm not a Knicks fan. You know, I'm a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
And it wrenches my heart that Tom Thibodeau potentially could lead this team to the finals. And Chicago's brass got tired of Tom Thibodeau because they felt he coached his players too hard. Now, don't get me wrong. I still feel a certain kind of way about what happened with Derrick Rose in game 1.
Yeah.
You're up by like 12, 13 points with like a minute and some change left. Rose shouldn't have been in the game. You should have pulled him because
Agreed.
that essentially, to me, that changed the
That set
trajectory.
that whole franchise back.
Yes, because I really believe a healthy Derrick Rose, and we don't know of the injuries he had afterwards, and he may have been injury prone regardless. But if you look at where that Chicago Bulls team was with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah and all those guys, they were probably one acquisition away from probably knocking off the Miami Heat and reclaiming that crown in the East. And
They were right there. I mean,
they
Carlo
were right there.
Boozer, Luol Deng,
What-
they were very good
Yes.
players.
What
They were
what
good
year what
players.
year was it that Kobe almost went to Chicago?
2012 or 13, I believe, because it was after the injury.
Okay.
Okay.
That would have
Could
been
you
how
imagine? Could you imagine if Derrick Rose had stayed healthy and Kobe made
With
that
Kobe.
move?
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can only
The
dream.
what that goes up there with the what ifs. Like, had that Chris Paul trade not been vetoed by the NBA, to him to go to Lakers back in his prime?
Yeah. Well,
It's the what ifs.
that was a LeBron move. That was for the sole sake of preserving LeBron because look, I don't hate the guy. I really don't. But I'm not gonna put him up here in this GOAT talk. You know,
Nope.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just old fashioned. Maybe I'm just old school. Maybe I'm just partial to Mike. I'm sorry. I'm partial to
Mike
Chicago.
guy, and I'm gonna stay a Mike guy.
Mike is the GOAT. I
Mike
don't
is
care what
always
nobody
gonna
says.
be the GOAT.
You ask NBA players who the GOAT is, they say it's Mike.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
there
you
is
know
that.
what?
You don't get anybody saying LeBron's the GOAT.
No,
Mike is
At
the
all.
GOAT.
you do, but here's what I'm gonna say. It's very easy to accumulate if you're going at it from a Frank Gore state of mind, right? And I'm
Yes.
Frank Gore.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Longevity.
when you look at Frank Gore's rushing stats and you see where he is all time,
Mhm.
is he one of the best running backs all time in NFL?
If he hadn't torn both knees, maybe, but not
Man,
now. No.
that's what I'm
Look.
saying.
No.
And that's no knock on
No.
Frank. I'm a
Right.
Frank Gore
It's
guy.
facts. It's
But
facts.
when we look at LeBron, I mean, the dude's been in the league.
Just been at least since the year we graduated, man.
Dude,
So,
yeah,
03.
like,
He's our age. I mean, he's
He's
technically
he's
our
our
age.
age.
So, yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? And credit to him because of his greatness. But I seen a level where a guy made some of. I know who Bill Winnington is because of Michael Jordan. I
Right.
know
Luke
who Judge
Longley,
Butler
John
is
Longley.
Paxson.
because
Yeah, I mean,
Judge
of Michael
Bushwood.
Jordan. I know who Corey Williams is because I know who Trent Tucker is because of Michael Jordan. I
Yes.
know who Here's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people because of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
ironically, Derek Harper, whose son's probably going to be the 2 or 3 pick in this draft in 3 weeks or whatever.
Ron
you like
Harper.
that.
Ron Harper.
Ron Harper. Sorry.
Harper.
I don't know why I said Derek Harper, but
Yeah.
Ron Harper. Yeah.
Thinking in the Knicks, Derek Harper.
Think about that. Yeah, think about him.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, no, Mike is the greatest of all time. And look, there's a reason they're paying him what, 40 million to be a part of the NBA on NBC next year or whatever like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope he smokes a cigar while he's there calling the game or in studio or what have you. I mean, I think that'd be
It's
pretty
Mike.
damn
Mike.
cool.
Mike can do whatever he wants.
But
Pretty
it's
much.
Yeah.
funny, though, like we look at it. Mike went to go play baseball and was starting to get the knack of that. Like, think about this. Mike, at the height of his career, he goes and plays with the Birmingham Barons
Yep.
Hey, I'm
on
all
a
on the
bus.
I'm all on the conspiracy theory on that one. Mike was forced to step away due to all of his
Yes.
gambling issues.
Yeah.
That was a orchestrated suspension.
Look, I'll take you back. You guys were a little bit younger, but I remember it very vividly. After Mike's dad passed,
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of buzz that in 93 the Bulls were not supposed to beat Phoenix.
Mm.
And because they beat Phoenix, consequently, not long after the championship, the first three-peat was completed. Mike's dad was supposedly robbed, carjacked, and killed.
Mm.
I'm sorry, forgive me, but that to me was not, as they say, that was not a coincidence. That was planned. And I think that all went hand in hand. If Mike doesn't leave,
Mm.
the Bulls win 8 straight championships,
No doubt.
including 94 and 95. No disrespect to
No
Hakeem and
respect
Kenny
to
the Jet
Houston, but
Smith.
there's no damn way. Ain't no damn way they were gonna beat the Bulls.
None, none, none,
None.
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 Now,
And
I'll say this though.
yeah,
I'll say this, Larry Frank.
mhm.
Yes, they did well against them in the regular season, but regular season ain't 7 games.
No.
Right,
And Jordan,
right.
they
And
elevated in the playoffs.
fully
They were a
conditioned,
different animal.
fully basketball conditioned Mike makes it through the Magic that year he came back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look how the
Oh,
Rockets schooled the
absolutely.
Magic team. I mean, they schooled them that, I mean.
Oh, the next year, yeah, it was
Yeah.
4-0 sweep.
4-0.
Yeah,
4-0.
4-0 sweep in Orlando.
Mhm.
That's the Michael Jordan pump fake game, the 4th game.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Yep. I mean, so I'm going to say this real quick. And I'm just going to touch on this.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting that, the the NBA right now is facing a problem that they do need New York there for a major market, because I'm going to say something right now and I could be completely wrong. You've got Florida Panthers going for the 3rd straight year to the Stanley Cup. Miami is a big market, okay?
Mhm.
And here's the thing. It's looking like it's done. Edmonton, it's the sequel. That was a great series last year in hockey. You've got an entire country hoping that Canada finally Edmonton breaks the streak of Canada not winning hockey. And I know that TNT's hosting that. There's a possibility if it's Indiana OKC, the ratings might be higher for the NHL over the NBA finals. I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, depending on, look at the
Oh
market of
yeah.
who's going to be watching that and so
Yeah.
forth, I mean,
Because it's
my
a
opinion.
repeat of last year's finals.
And they were great.
And
It was great.
yeah, it was competitive last year. And I ain't a hockey guy. I don't watch it, but I mean, I remember looking at the highlights of it. But anytime you have a repeat, look at this year's Super Bowl.
Mhm.
It's must see TV. Can the team that won last year repeat? Can the team that got knocked off, avenge the loss? Yeah. And especially if it's an Indiana OKC final, the NHL finals are definitely going to have bigger numbers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Edmonton's 20 seconds away from taking this game.
Yeah, they've got it. They've got it. So, like I said, I mean, and I think that that's going to start next week sometime. Edmonton is going to be the host this time, are going to have the home ice, but the Panthers have done better on the road than they have done at home. I mean, I don't even know how you explain that, because usually you should defend home ice, but the Panthers look damn unbeatable on the road, and then at home have looked vulnerable. So I know that Edmonton's looking for revenge, and they know that they left one out there last year, but these Panthers, they've gotten there 3 straight years. I don't care who you are, whether you lose them to get back there. That's a lot of hockey, a lot of basketball. If you went back to 3 straight finals, and like you said, Larry, if the Bulls had gone to 8 straight, it's a lot of basketball. They played longer than everybody else back then. And here's the thing: there were no minutes taken off. Everybody
no.
played those 82 games and
Yeah.
then
Yep.
some. I mean, goodness gracious, were those some hosses back then? There were
Yeah.
not managed minutes, whatever that's
Right,
called.
right.
So yeah, I mean, but yeah, no, I mean, but yeah, like I said, it's just I want a good series. Whoever comes out of this Pacers Knicks thing, I want a
Oilers
great
scored
series.
one more before the end of the game,
Empty net,
6-3.
yeah, empty net, yeah, 6-3. So yeah, the Oilers are going to be tough. That's going to be a hell of a series for the Stanley Cup. But I just want
Edmonton is crying out for it. You the curse of Wayne Gretzky, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, old oil cans needs to be there on Monday, and maybe that might, just get everybody ready to go. And we those Canadian knockers, man. There's something in the water up there in the oil. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Woo! So yeah, but who could forget her? She should be front and center. She should sing "Oh Canada." That would be worth watching there. And so, what is it? What is it? DraftKings. They have all these different bets, like who's going to score. What's the score going to be after one period?
I put a bet in on DraftKings. I know y'all heard about those 10 inmates down here that escaped the New Orleans jail.
Oh yeah. I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I put a bet in. I put $20 on Groves that he would be the last man caught. And if it comes true, I'll win like $380. Well, Groves is one of the last two. So I'm praying they
I
catch
hope
that
you
other
get
guy
the
before they
380.
can
I
go.
hope you get the
I want
380.
I
that.
hope you get that, bro. I
Yeah.
hope we going to Sizzler. We going to Sizzler.
Hey, biscuits on me. I got all of y'all. I got all of y'all.
We in there. We in there.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I really believe that, because that to me, I think is the reason. I might be crazy. I think that's the reason why WWE canceled WrestleMania in New Orleans, because right after these inmates escaped the jail and it made national news, a couple of days later, that's when they announced that WrestleMania was pulled, and it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Security issues, because one of the inmates were found in the French Quarter on Royal Street. Yeah.
It makes me mad. It just makes me mad from that standpoint that that crazy jackass right before New Year's drove right into but you didn't see them cancel. Look, they had to delay the Sugar Bowl, which I think was probably a smart move.
Security
that they did
reasons.
that, security reasons, but they didn't cancel the Super Bowl for 5 weeks later, 6 weeks
But
later.
the security for the Super Bowl, when I tell you, security is always tight when the Super Bowl is down here.
Of course.
But it was extra precaution. Like the police agencies, like my wife, her agency, like everybody had extra help coming in. State police had more, like the national, like they made sure that they vetted every nook and cranny downtown around that Superdome, Bourbon Street, because if something happens at the Super Bowl, New Orleans will probably never host another Super Bowl again. So before they let that happen, they had to do what they had to do. That's why they pushed the Sugar Bowl back, to make sure everything was good with that.
It's true. It's true. I hope that's not the case. I mean, I just didn't see anything great about the Vegas stadium. It looks like a robot head, to be honest with you. And the Superdome has so much history, so much stuff has happened there. And you've had 2 amazing WrestleManias there. The last one, the Ultimate Warrior was at before he literally died 2 days later.
Do you know the date that they have scheduled for Money in the Bank in New Orleans? Do you know the date that they put?
Don't. Enlighten me on that, please.
August 29th, 2026. Do you know what August 29th is?
That's Hurricane Katrina.
That's the anniversary of Katrina. Now, here's my thing. Why would you have a PLE in New Orleans in August during the height of hurricane season? Starts for us down here on Sunday. So we're always, James, you Florida, you know.
I know, man. I
know. So why would you put a PLE? And that's the height of hurricane. When you get August and September, those are the 2 peak months of hurricane season.
Uh-huh.
That's a
Yep.
mistake, man. That's a mistake.
I have a question, but I thought that Money in the Bank was always like a June pay-per-view number
They move it
one.
around. That's just like Backlash. Backlash is now after WrestleMania, but I think previously Backlash has been later on. They shifted
Wow.
around. And
I'm
to me,
just lost at this now. I really am.
it's like, because, well, you got to look at it like this. They're integrating Saturday night's main event now. They got these PLEs that are out of country. You got the Saudi show and all of that stuff. I think they go to Riyadh like twice a year. So to have it where it used to be the traditional PLEs, where you knew the Rumble was in January. Look, the Rumble was in February this year.
It was
WrestleMania was in April.
late
Whereas
April.
I can remember WrestleMania 3, Hogan and Andre, that was March 27th, 1987. I was 10 years old. I remember that date. My grandmother had God rest her soul, had gallbladder surgery that date. And I couldn't watch WrestleMania because we were at the hospital. So that's the thing. They changed look at SummerSlam. SummerSlam always used to be
August.
early. No, it was
Labor Day.
August. Late August, going close to
August.
Labor Day.
Yeah,
Late
it's
August.
always before Labor Day.
Yes.
Yep.
Now SummerSlam is the first weekend in August.
Ugh.
So for whatever reason, I don't know what. All I can see is they're integrating more of these shows, like Saturday night's main event. Which, don't get me wrong, I love Saturday night's main event, but it's turning into a clown show.
Oh, it is.
Because,
It is. Yeah, and Shane, I got one for you guys. I got one for all of us, since we all love football here. That's the opening weekend of college football next year. Like, I mean, did you see some of the games that are coming on this one on that Labor Day weekend? I mean, you got Miami and Notre Dame. You got all these big games. Alabama, Florida State.
LSU,
I can only
Clemson.
imagine what they're going to have next year. You know, and you're going to compete against that with Money in the Bank. I mean, I don't think so.
Listen, if we don't have a hurricane, guess what? I'm staying home and I'm watching football unless Miami has a favorable opening game thing and I'm headed to wherever Miami's playing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've played in that Superdome before, like for one of them opening games, or it was Dallas. It was LSU against Dallas.
I was there. I was there, unfortunately, for that beat down.
Yeah, well, I was there for the Alabama beat down.
Literally, Money in the Bank will fall on the exact same day for 2026 as week 0 of college football.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so I don't know, guys. Again, it's going to be very interesting. And who's going to be the champion then? Who's going to be the star power to even watch you want to tune in at that point? I don't know. I mean, that's just
Braun Breaker.
If I have the option of going down to Atlanta, say Tennessee does like that opening weekend Chick-fil-A, whatever,
Chick-fil-A thing,
game. Am I going to go to Atlanta, or am I going to pay attention to Money in the Bank? I'm going to Atlanta.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Yep, for sure. I mean, if they do like Miami against I don't know, against who is it? Like let's say if there was like an out of conference game and they wanted to play it in the Superdome compared to, like some WWE event, in
Miami and Texas. There you go.
Yeah, Miami, Texas, or whatever like that. Of course, you're going to go see that. You know what I mean? I agree with that. I agree completely. In week 0, we've been waiting all year for week 0, and we're waiting for it right now. We're less than 90 days away. Something like
93
that.
days. 93 days
away.
When you start seeing the advertisements for NCAA, because I saw the trailer drop today for NCAA 26.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, Inner Sandman, bro. Hey, but you know what?
The Neyland Stadium at the Neyland at night entrance they showed, beautiful. Because I've been there for that, and it looked spot on.
James knows where I'm about to go. I'm pissed. Miami was nowhere.
Just not.
Nowhere.
Haven't been relevant. I mean, that's the truth. I hate to say it. I mean, they have an opportunity on, what is it, August 30th or whatever, 31st against Notre Dame at home Sunday night, and knock off Notre Dame. I mean, knock off Notre Dame, and you might start having people talk about you. But when you squander the number 1 pick, I don't know what. I mean, it's bad, man. It's just bad. So
Well, at least y'all got Cam up there in Nashville. I mean,
I,
that's a good thing.
well, can I tell you this? I'm actually going October 19th. The Patriots are coming to play the Titans, and I'm going to go to that game to see Cam Ward in person. So I am going to that on that Sunday. So in Nashville. So yeah,
That's what's
that's going to
up.
be cool. That's going to be cool, actually. So yeah, Miami plays on a Friday night. I think Tennessee's off that week, if I'm not mistaken, unless they're playing Alabama. That might be Alabama on Saturday. But that's my plan that weekend of the 17th through the 19th. Miami on Friday, Tennessee on Saturday, Titans on Sunday. That's
Is
my
it
weekend. So
isn't the Dolphins opening up the season against the Steelers?
I think
Mm.
they are. I
Check
think
the schedule. I thought I might be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong date. I thought that was the season opener.
Dolphins NFL schedule. Let's see here. 2025. Let's see here. Actually, they're starting off with the Colts at the
Okay.
Colts. So, um,
Or
but
may,
they do have a Monday night football game with the Steelers at Pittsburgh on
on the
December 15th.
29th.
Oh, on the yeah.
okay. Okay. I knew it was a prime time game. I just
Mhm.
thought it was the season opener. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a Monday
Okay.
night football game, so that'll be cool at Pittsburgh. So they haven't played in a while, actually. The Dolphins and the Steelers haven't played in a while, actually. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
last couple of years, it's always come down to the Dolphins' final game and the Steelers' final game to determine playoff placement, and
yeah.
which it doesn't matter because we get in and we're one and done anyway. So
Yeah, no, it's kind of sad, and then I guess speaking of NFL, who are the favorites? I mean, two pair. Who are the favorites for the NFL this year? Is it
I
is
mean,
it, I mean, is the Eagles going to repeat, or I know Michael Lynn would love that, but
I
so
think I think Philly's gonna be super strong. I mean, I always try to. There's no way on God's green earth I will ever say the Buffalo Bills are a contender for a Super Bowl because ever since I've gotten this Tecmo Super Bowl at the house on this new TV, there's no chance of Buffalo ever winning the Super Bowl.
yeah,
So I think Kansas City. It's kind of hard to pay all those guys at this point. Like you got the three in a row. You won two of them. I mean you are somewhat of a dynasty.
yeah,
You got
yeah.
three. You went to three of them. You won. No, you went to four.
With the
hmm
2 for 4.
Two. It ain't bad.
hell no, it's not. Shit, I'd kill for that.
I
So
mean, there's a
I'm ready to
ton
see.
of
I'm
teams
ready to see the
kill
fall
for
off of the
one.
Chiefs.
So yeah, yeah,
to get there four times and win twice, lose twice, and who you lost to.
Yeah.
I'm, I'm not. I can't really get mad at that. Now I will say this: um, Green Bay has a chance. I like what they've done. Baltimore, I'm still
Baltimore.
holding out hope. Still holding out hope for Baltimore. If there were teams that I really expect, it'd be Baltimore and Philly.
absolutely. I was going to ask you, Larry. I know that pains you being a Steelers fan about
And
Baltimore and
I'm a
that
Steelers
rivalry.
guy.
Yeah,
I'm a Steelers
yeah,
guy.
but you got to
You
acknowledge,
got to be objective. You got to tell the
You
truth.
got to be.
yeah, because you got Derrick Henry. Does Lamar, I mean, they had the defense. It's just they've been the bridesmaid and not the bride these last couple of
And
years.
and the thing is, they're going to run away with the AFC North because none of the teams in the AFC North, competition wise, are going to pose a threat. Now I know when Pittsburgh plays them, Pittsburgh will split with Baltimore for whatever reason. They could have a team full of all stars. We can have a team full of third stringers. When they play, throw all that stuff out the window. There will be a split.
Can I
But
say this? That's
yeah,
my favorite division. Of all the ones in the AFC, it's the North. And I'm going to tell you why. Where does Cincinnati go with Joe Burrow? Because they got to the Super Bowl, they've kind of fallen off. What do they do? And then here's my question for you guys. Who is the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns? Is it Dylan Gabriel? Is it Shador? Who is it at this point?
it's
Honestly,
Sean
Shador.
Watson.
Browns.
It's Shador. It's going to be Shador.
Yeah,
Do
Shador's
they
going to
get
get that job.
Deshaun, or is he gone?
I think Deshaun's done,
He's
right?
yeah, he's I think he's hurt. Isn't he
Yeah.
coming off an injury and he won't be ready?
I don't think he'll be ready. So, and then they got Joe Flacco on that team too.
Yeah,
I didn't even think Joe Flacco, like, God love him. What's he trying to do at this point? Break Dan Marino's record or
it'll
what? I
it'll
mean,
it'll be
goodness
Shador.
gracious. So,
Shador, I think, will be the opening day starter. Dylan Gabriel, look, he did real good at Oregon,
mhm.
but come on, man. I mean, pound for pound, who's the better quarterback out
I
of the
couldn't
two?
believe how small Dylan Gabriel
Shador,
was. Like they had all those guys standing. Shador was way taller than him.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. So,
Shador be throwing that thing on the rope, boy.
yeah. I honestly, let me tell you this. I could see him kind of going on a Tom Brady tear. Oh, you passed me up all these rounds, kiss my ass.
absolutely,
And,
absolutely.
yeah, look what it did to Tom Brady. I mean, and
Yeah,
we didn't even, and here's the thing. Let's be real. Shador was more accomplished in college than Tom Brady was. All
he
I heard
was.
about when Tom Brady was there, they couldn't wait till Drew Henson was going to be the starting
Yep.
quarterback. And Drew Henson left them high and dry for the damn New York Yankees and wasn't even a good damn baseball player on top of
Man,
that or whatever. So,
big games though.
yeah, I mean, shoot. Yeah,
You
but
give Shador an offensive line, you give him some weapons,
mhm,
and he learns that playbook. And people forget Tom Brady mentored him.
yeah, yeah.
I thought because Tom Brady is part owner of the Raiders, and I used to tell this to Devin because that's his team.
Mhm.
I thought the Raiders were going to take him.
It would have made sense.
That would have made
It
They
would
would
have
sense.
have,
made sense. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
needing
mean,
a
why not?
quarterback.
Why not? Let me ask you this: did Travis Hunter go to the Jaguars? Is that who he's with? Travis.
Yes,
Yes.
number 2 pick.
So,
Yes,
Yep.
technically, I don't
But
know where.
they're saying, I was reading a report today or saw a video today, like his route tree sucks. He's not a true receiver. And a bunch of the veteran players aren't happy with how he's not focused.
I figured that.
Damn,
Mm.
I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if I was a
But you
Jaguars
know what? I
fan.
fault the management because you knew when you drafted this guy at number 2, you knew he was coming in. The playing two ways is just something that's a generational thing, but you can't do that in the NFL.
Mhm,
No.
You got guys obviously in high school you can do it because the high school game is a lot different.
mhm.
It's not as hard to do in
And
high
the,
school as it is in
and those
college.
and those guys that do that in high school, when they get to college, you're playing one side of the
Pick a
ball.
side.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe you're on special teams, but we're talking one play, for special
Yeah.
teams. Where,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's nothing. But no, you're not going to play a full damn game in the
You're
NFL.
not going to do it. Your body's not going to hold up.
Mm-mm.
Because let's be honest, in high school, everybody on the field isn't as equally talented as you. When you get to college, the numbers of guys as talented as you goes up. That's why it's rare to do in college. And Hunter was able to do that the last couple of years. In the NFL, guess what? Everybody is just as good as you,
That's
Yep.
true. That's true.
especially at the skill position.
Everybody was the stud on their high school team. They played
Exactly.
Yes,
both ways, but they knew when they got to
yes,
college, all right, I was better defensively. They just gave me the ball because I could make a play.
yes.
Let me ask you guys something. And two pair, I want you to chime in too on this. What do you all think? Is this girl that big of a distraction for him at this point too? Is that also what's maybe being insinuated behind the scenes? This leech? I mean, because that's what she seems. I hate to say that. This young man's got talent. I saw him
I
make some spectacular plays and catches, but it's like we've seen a lot of great athletes careers get detailed by a
hey,
bad lady, honestly. So,
there was a
Yep.
song back in the day that perfectly sums this up. I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
oh, shit.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, when Kanye was badass back in the day, so she.
Yeah, yeah, man, yeah.
before
But I
Kanye,
mean,
before Kanye married a Kardashian, went crazy.
Oh my
but the thing about it, dude, if you look at it, the description, and I mean, that song is like damn near 20 years old,
God,
but
it is.
that song literally fits Travis Hunter's situation to a T.
Hmm.
And he's with her. I mean, he loves her, and I feel sorry for him because that's his first love, and she stood by. And look, I ain't got
We ain't
nothing
trying
against him.
out.
I'm not trying to put him
It's
down.
admirable. It's admirable.
But go back and look at Travis Hunter in high school before he grew the dreads.
Mm-hmm.
He was not what you think he would be, and I don't know. Did he get the girls in high school? I don't know. I don't know the man's business.
He kind of Dion insinuated he's like a nerd, like 4.0, like had one of the highest. He's
That's a
smart.
good thing for him, and I'll give him credit in that regard because he loves to go fishing. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't club. He doesn't go out and drink and do nothing like that.
Yeah.
He likes to stay home, go fishing, play video games. And I got to give it to him. To be 21, 22 years old and committed to a woman like that, the way
Yep.
that he's committed to that girl, 4.0 student, hey, character-wise, you hit a home run. You
Mm-hmm.
drafted a guy that's not going to be with character issues, and that's good. The bad part about it is those type of guys, if they don't have the right woman
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't work out, that's what I'm scared of for him. And
He's gonna
that
be
girl,
emotionally vulnerable based off her.
yeah, and that will translate. That probably will translate to his play on the field because he loves her, man. I mean, he put everything out. He gave her a G-Wagon at the wedding.
She followed Kanye's workout plan.
And the baby bump.
Yeah, and the baby bump. Well, the other thing too that I can't, and the Houston Texans have nothing to worry about for another year. Like the Colts are in disarray. Irsay passed away, unfortunately for them, and they've been in disarray. It seems like, the Jaguars, despite, let me just tell you this. Going back to OKC, and we talked about the brilliance of their general manager of how they've stacked the draft picks and been successful. Look at the Jaguars, though. They've gotten Sunshine. They've gotten all these high-profile picks, and that's just a disorganized, dysfunctional, and they have never really recovered from losing that AFC Championship game to the Patriots a few years ago. They really have not. And the Urban Meyer thing that was disgusting in itself, or what have you. I mean, and then the Titans. I mean, I don't know what Carthon was doing over there, but I'm hoping Cam Ward can maybe do something. But it's just been horribly mismanaged since they blew that game against the Bengals 4 years ago. The Tannehill interception game and everything, and they had the number 1 seed and home field advantage and just blew it. I mean, just blew it.
Yeah, Carthon and Vrabel were definitely going at it. So I mean, that screwed up the whole thing for the Titans.
And the irony, going back to the Jags, the irony is the year they lost to the Pats in the AFC Championship, they beat the Steelers in the divisional.
Look at that.
Because I had actually counted that as a victory.
Yeah, no, that was a huge upset, and honestly, I mean, that was a huge, huge upset in my opinion. So,
right.
Yeah, that because everybody thought it was going to be the Patriots and the Steelers again,
Again,
for the AFC Championship back then. So, I don't know, man. I just think that it's so crazy to talk about how things could go and how they do, and like I said. One thing that's apparent is that you look at these NFL draft compared to the NBA draft or what have you. I still, for the life of me, cannot understand how Dallas got that number 1 pick. I just because realistically,
the NBA is rigged in every shape, form, and fashion.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I just look at Charlotte. I look at Washington. These are proverbial losers. I mean, they just are just never going to get out of the cellar. They just aren't.
The Pelicans.
Them too.
There was a lot of buzz down here because they had a 25% chance at getting the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I think they got number 7.
They got 7. Look at that. So,
and they got Joe Dumars as the GM now.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to tell people down here, they're hyped because they're looking at what Joe Dumars did with Detroit. But they're forgetting that the latter part of Joe's tenure as an exec is what tore Detroit up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let me ask you, what are they going to do with Zion? Are they going to trade him? What's the deal with Zion now?
For right now, Zion is still going to be a part of the plan. Now, they do want to trade him. He's definitely in the trade talks, but nobody's biting because of the injury issues, the weight issues, the baggage with the porn star down here.
Oh, my God. Again, there's another one that was distracted by you know what. So there you go.
Yeah.
Idiot. So I mean,
you know, and he just has a problem. And I mean, listen, I'm telling you, man, I'm fighting like hell, you know, doing what I'm doing carnivore. That's how I'm dropping all this weight.
Mm-hmm.
Down here, if you do not have self-control,
you can eat yourself out of the I mean, it's good food.
NBAs will get you.
Quick question: does that?
yes.
Oh my gosh! So, jeez. I, you know what? With all that damn money that boy made from endorsements and everything like that, you would have thought he'd be like one of these actors and hired a personal trainer, somebody that would feed him. And no, he likes to eat. He just likes to eat.
But you got to remember, he got drafted at 19.
He did.
So
Body
you
wasn't done
talking
fully
about,
developing.
right? And think about it, a 19-year-old multi-millionaire in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've been a 19-year-old poor kid in New Orleans, and I'm gonna tell you something. You
You'll
give
find
a
a way.
beignets, gumbo, red beans, crawfish ain't too fat, bro. Come on now, you're
Jambalaya.
not
I mean, ooh,
jambalaya. You're not gonna make it, bro. You're not gonna make it.
that's
Porn stars, you're not gonna make it.
man, I'm telling you. You know, I also wonder. You know, he grew up in there in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and that's a big difference from Spartanburg. You know what? 7 months in Durham, North Carolina, and then you go down to New Orleans. Oh
Come
my
on,
God!
dude.
So
You
wow.
never even got to sniff what a college nutrition plan was.
Right,
Hell no. Hell no.
right.
I mean, so I just wondered what they were going to do with him. But like I said, it's going to be interesting. NBA free agency, has Durant made a decision? I mean, I know that Giannis, that you've talked about that. You talked about that in the chat. What is Giannis going to do? Is he going
Giannis,
to, I mean,
Giannis is my favorite NBA player, modern
yeah.
day. He really became my favorite modern day NBA player. I was praying that some kind of way Chicago could pull off a deal
Hmm.
and get him. I'd like to see Giannis with Kobe White.
Yeah.
Um,
God, the rivalry between Milwaukee and Chicago would be even worse if that happened. Like,
yeah,
like
oh
it's already
man,
the Green Bay Bears thing, and then you add that now to the NBA, that would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Type of
right.
a thing.
But I'm seeing a lot of speculation that it'll be the Warriors.
Really? Like they
Uh,
needed any more damn help. Oh my God.
yeah,
So shoot. I mean,
Yeah, because that's the NBA's golden child right now. So
right, right. They're trying to keep them as close to being relevant as they can, and given what happened with the Ant-Man, yeah,
is
it won't
that
be LA.
let me ask you, is that because, guys, we'll talk markets real quick. San Francisco is up there, but it ain't no LA. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
why won't they? I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me, of why them. I mean, the Kings had that one magical year that they got screwed with the referee in 2002 and all that, but they've been a trash organization for many years. The Clippers, it just seems like I don't know who they pissed off. If that is that owner, that racist owner, that's what happened
Donald
Donald
there.
Sterling.
Sterling.
Yeah, him. Like, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened, but it's like where all careers go to die over there. And then the Lakers have their history, but it really is, like you said, the golden child, the Golden State Warriors, Shane. You really hit it right on the head, man. I mean, I don't know what's so special about them, though. That's the
Well,
thing. So,
I think you have to
It's the
take
it's
into
the way
account.
it's the way
Go ahead,
Steph
go ahead,
came
Shane.
into it's the way Steph came into the league and lit it up, and every young kid wants to be Steph.
mhm.
Right.
That's what it is.
And also keep in mind, you're talking about a market that's not a major market,
Mhm.
but they're one of the few mid markets or smaller market areas that actually have professional sports all across the board. They got the Oakland A's
Mhm.
across the bay.
For a little
You
bit.
got you got hold up. You got the 49ers,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
and you got Golden State. What
Yep.
other mid-major market areas have? I mean, Milwaukee, Bucks, Brewers. How close is Green Bay to Milwaukee? I don't
It,
know.
it's
Maybe
it's
they're.
it's it's about 2.5 hours away, but they are Milwaukee's team pretty much.
Yeah,
They're just from that old AFL guard or whatever, or the
right,
NFL. Yeah, exactly.
right, right. So when you start looking at teams like that, I think, especially when they've won championships in a certain sport,
Hmm.
they try to keep that team And it's not just that, but having won championships and having legendary players because you still got Steph.
Hmm.
You want to keep them. You don't want them to fall all the way from grace with
Yeah.
that
Hell,
next
they
level.
got the San Francisco Giants too. You could consider they got two baseball
That's
teams.
who. Yeah,
Yeah.
They
that's
got the Giants too. They got
right,
them.
right.
So shit. I mean,
Yeah,
who used to be a New York team before they went out west. I mean, New York used to have four teams. A lot of people forget about. It was the
right.
Mets, the Yankees, the Giants, and the Dodgers. Dodgers and Giants moved out west to Los Angeles and San Francisco
Yep.
when
Right,
they left Brooklyn and
right.
all that. So yeah, I mean, but that's just nuts. I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, and then I know that with Pop gone, I know that they would love the Spurs to be in there. It seems like the Texas teams are very positioned out there in the West. I'm talking, if the Mavericks do get Cooper Flag, if they don't trade it away, they've got a nice lineup, especially with Klay Thompson and if they can get Anthony Davis on track, they've got a nice team. The Rockets, I don't know what the hell happened to them. They had a very nice season and just imploded in the playoffs. But it seems like the Texas teams they favor as well in the NBA. I don't know. Maybe I'm off with that or something, but I just see them all three right now. They're trying to help them, especially when you had Dallas and San Antonio, who were at the bottom of the lottery, get conveniently raised up, and
Right.
it's no doubt that San Antonio will probably get VJ Edgecombe, who was already down there playing for Baylor, last year
Yeah.
as a point guard. So yeah,
Right.
but so for sure. So yeah, yeah. Oh, Kerry's on tonight. Hey, Kerry, how you doing, bud? Panthers will win the cup again. Keep the cup in America. Well, I'm all for it, man. As
I
Michael Lynn
think
said, Canada
I
sucks.
think the Edmonton girl to show up again. That's all we
Yeah, we need
need.
the Edmonton girl to show up, but if my Panthers can hoist that trophy, I would love it. Honestly, like I said, I just want good competitive series. Is honestly that's what I want. So more than anything. And Carrie, I just wanted to show you. I know you came late. I don't know if you saw, but we would love to have you come on as a guest. Larry's on tonight, which was awesome. I was really hoping we could get him on, and he did come in. And Steven, when you were on, we want guests to come on under this new platform that we're doing, and we are covering all sports right now, and we would love to have guests to share it, whether you know about it or not. We've talked wrestling, we've talked hockey, we've talked NBA, we've talked some college baseball. We want to cover it all, and even some NFL and everything going in the forefront. So we just want to make sure that we cover it, and we want everybody's opinion. We want to have fun. So definitely send me your email address, and we'd love to have you on going forward and so forth. And Larry, I want you to come back on whenever you're available, and any of the guests that we invite, because Corey Davison said he'd like to come on. Michael Lynn said he'd like to come on, and just anything to talk about sports and have fun and laughing about it like we always do. Honestly, we
Absolutely.
give a real opinion about it from just normal average day guys like ourselves.
And let me say this: you're going to SmackDown tomorrow night.
Yeah,
I need you to do me a favor.
I will do you a favor.
When Bianca comes down that rampway,
You want me to record it or something? Or
please
I'll
just blow her a kiss for me.
I will. Yeah.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
tell my wife.
No, 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 no. I know. Hey, listen, I got to be careful too. So
Yeah.
shoot. So yeah.
Hey, but she's got competition because hey, see Miss Parker. I haven't been paying attention, but see Miss Parker.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yeah.
I got to pull a two pair.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you something. The most interesting thing about WWE right now is the divas. It really is. Liv Morgan
Yeah.
comes back, and I mean everything just goes. Alexa Bliss back. I mean all of them. They're the
Yeah.
star of the show right now. So hey, real quick, what was going on that yacht for Ray Ripley's birthday between Natalia Neidhart and Rhea Ripley? Did you all see that, by the way?
No, what happened?
Well, they were on a yacht and skimpy bikinis, and there was a French kiss that was done there on top of on the front of the yacht. It was hot. That's all I'm going to say.
By who to who?
Natalia Neidhart and Rhea Ripley or whatever like that, celebrating her birthday. So it came across
Oh
Facebook
man.
on one of the WWE things, and I was like, So, and I didn't see Buddy anywhere near. I didn't see Buddy around. So,
What about Tyson Kidd? Where was
yeah,
he?
where was he at? I mean, I don't know. So, but somebody took a picture from it from another.
Somebody
From
had
another
to be
yacht.
working the camera.
Somebody was working the camera from another boat, and they had that lens zoomed in there. So I'm talking about them big ass binoculars. Matt Dillon tries, and so there's something about Marion didn't get what he really wanted to see, but the camera got what he wanted to see. So that's all I'm saying.
I saw. I don't know if you guys saw it. Now I don't like him in the ring, but I actually enjoyed it. Cody Rhodes' podcast.
Oh, really?
It premiered
Okay.
this week. It premiered yesterday, as a matter of fact. And Brandy, his wife, was his first guest. And I was laughing. He said, well, Brandy, you know, I'm the American Nightmare and you're the African American Nightmare. So
She can I say this? She's a lovely woman. I like
she
her
is.
a lot. I like her a
She
lot.
compliments him well.
She does. She does. And they have a
Yeah.
beautiful child, and I don't know if they're going to have
Yes.
any more, but she's definitely they go good together. They go good
Yeah.
together. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So, Larry, before we go, please plug your show. I know you had a show this past Monday night, if I'm not mistaken, or what have you, or is it going to be next Monday?
It's gonna be next Monday. We had Winning at the Game of Life Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
We had a guest on, Miss LaShonda Hopkins. She's a realtor in North Carolina. She was talking about the real estate game and everything. Of course, we did the Miami show last Friday, but this upcoming Monday on my show on Real Talk with my co-host Shy Blue, we're gonna have Joseph Bernard and his wife Kimberly, and the discussion is going to be interracial relationships because Kimberly's white and JB is black. So they wanted to come on to talk about, in the wake of everything that's going on, you know,
Talk about the whole what Ryan Clark was saying about RG3.
Well, it was we didn't get into that. I need to look at that some more.
And yeah, I gotta get into more.
I missed that. I read the headlines, but I didn't really see it. I just saw that Ryan Clark was getting bashed and RG3 was clapping back. But it was more. We did a show a couple of weeks ago on the Carmelo Anthony thing, not the basketball player, the kid in Dallas, the track thing in Dallas.
Yeah.
And the fallout from that. Then we had a discussion on black fatigue, which went rampant after Shiloh Hendricks called that little 5-year-old kid the N-word in Minnesota. Ooh. Yeah, we were talking about that. So on the heels of that show, Kimberly, JB's wife, said she wanted to come on because we weren't going to do, we were going to kind of go back to the relationship stuff because we talk about everything. Mm-hmm. We talk about relationships. We talk about business, economic. We talk about it all. But Kimberly said she wanted to come on to address interracial relation and the racial divide and stuff and how they deal with it as an interracial couple because they've been married like 30 years or whatever. They got like 4 kids.
And isn't it? And didn't you say? And please correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't she a descendant of the McCoys from the Hatfield and McCoys?
Yes, the Hatfields and the McCoys.
So that's even intriguing right there to go against that. The lineage of that. And so
I gotta call him tomorrow. I was supposed to call him tonight, but I got tied up with a bunch of stuff, and I had to do the thumbnail for the show. And I sent them the list of questions they were going to ask, but I got to call them to kind of go over everything to make sure that everything that I sent over was acceptable and see what they want to do. But yeah, she's a descendant of the Hatfields, McCoys, or whatever. They're in South Carolina. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot. But Kim is cool because when we were at Devin's house last year for the bash after the Georgia Tech game, Kim was there. She's a diehard Miami fan. Kim was up there cussing more than me.
Oh, I bet. I'd love to meet her.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
Monday. But it's on YouTube, right? It's on the UTalk channel.
It'll be on UTalk. Right? It'll be on UTalk Monday, 8:00 Eastern, 7:00 Central, and we come on every other Monday. We have a different show with them.
That's awesome, man. No, congratulations on that. And if you haven't seen any of the other episodes, they get a lot of topics and a lot of great guests on. I can only imagine how awesome this next show is going to be for you. So
we're looking forward to it. We got our photo shoot in Atlanta next month because we're going to put everything on the website. So myself, Shy, JB he's coming down from he's 2 hours away. He's coming down. Marquise, the producer, Devin. Uh, we got a videographer. We're shooting everything to put on the website. It we're just trying to move it in different directions.
That's awesome, man. Well, blessings to you, and I hope you come back on. And like everybody else that watches this, either live or recorded, if you want to come on as a guest to talk about sports, we would love to have you. This is open to anybody that wants to just love and talk sports and have a good time with the brothers. Honestly, we're a brotherhood. I like to call it here at Rebels with a Cause. We all have our own cause, and that cause don't stop when that clock hits zero. Just remember that. That's what it's all about. Guys, any parting words or anything like that as we go into this wonderful weekend coming up? As we close on this, two pairs. Shane, Larry, each of you have the floor. Go, baby. So,
Uh,
yeah.
real quick, you know, we shouldn't always quick to we shouldn't be always so quick to judge a person's faults or indiscretions. Like, and I really want to say that to a lot of people. And also, he who is without sin should cast the first stone. So, just a lot of things that I've been seeing lately. That's been good, or I mean, it's been really troubling. Let's just always think about, what I'm saying, who are in those shoes, and see how hard it is to walk in those shoes. And sometimes you might want to pray for the person that's in those shoes as well. Something to think about.
Larry, any parting thoughts, real quick, going into this weekend, brother?
Oh, just everybody stay safe. You know, just enjoy life. To quote two famous quotes. Jerry Springer, take care of yourself and each other. And Snoop Dogg, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
Very true. Very true. Shane O'Mac, what you saying,
Uh,
brother? Honestly, so.
all right, everybody enjoy the weekend. Hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody took time to remember why we celebrate it. As a veteran, I lost a bunch of friends, so that Memorial Day weekend always hits me hard. But if you know a veteran, check it on. That last Monday is always rough for a bunch of us because a lot of people we lost. Those are days that we remember them. So check on your buddies who, if you know somebody who served, check on them.
Shane, and I know that you're still around. I know you lost some. I know my dad lost some, and we probably already all know people that knew that they lost somebody. But thank you for those sacrifices that we were
Absolutely.
able to have this wonderful country and
Yes.
each other in our lives and so
A
forth.
a
Can't
quote that I
be.
always go by when it comes to Memorial Day weekend: "Some gave all, and all gave some, and some gave all."
That's correct. That's beautifully said. And I'm going to part with it there. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Next week, we'll be on sometime. Just depends on the schedule, but we'll get it out social media wise. But like I said, your love and support and everything that you guys do, it keeps this cause going for us. And we enjoy this. And we hope you like this new platform. And we're just going to keep this rolling and go from there, baby. And it's always about this at the end of the day. Just remember that. So I appreciate you guys and love each other. Take care of one another. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the sports. We out. Go, go,